Time has expired.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pertell, any idea how many inmates in federal prison are not U.S. citizens?
I actually do not know that, sir. I'm sorry.
Mr. Potter, do you have hazard a guess or no?
I do not know.
Mr. Wild?
I do not know.
Mr. Milton?
No, sir.
Well, I think you all testified there's staff shortages. The gentleman from New York just talked about staff shortages. Maybe if there weren't 24,000 federal inmates who are not U.S. citizens, maybe we wouldn't have a staff shortage. Maybe if the administration before this one hadn't just released into the country people who came here illegally and actually detained them, they wouldn't have committed some of these crimes and wouldn't be in federal prison. You think maybe that would help with the situation on staffing that you all brought up, that the gentleman from New York just raised? Mr. Petrell, I'll start with you.
No, I do, sir. And I'm assuming that most of those are under an immigration detainer for when they do come out.
I don't know about most of them, but that's a question I'd have too. Do you understand that? Are they under the detainer when they're released, that at least ICE will have the ability to go, they're not just going to be released into the country?
That's my assumption, but I do not know those numbers.
Mr. Potter, do you know if that's actually the case with these 24,584 Bureau of Prison inmates are not U.S. citizens? You know what percentage that represents of the federal inmate population?
No, I do not.
16%. Maybe we wouldn't have a staff shortage if this would have been dealt with in the previous administration. This is something President Trump is trying to deal with going forward. 16%. Do you know if there are detainers for these individuals who would be subject to that currently going on currently, Mr. Potter?
No, I don't know.
Mr. Wild?
I don't know.
Mr. Milton? Any idea?
No, sir.
Well, what we do know is what happened a few years back. I think this goes clear back to the Obama administration. I sent a detainer to the Board of Prisons, or Bureau of Prisons, excuse me, regarding the individual who wound up killing Kate Steinley. So many of you remember this situation. The BOP didn't honor that, instead released this individual to San Francisco, to law enforcement there, who then, to the jurisdiction there, who then released this guy to the streets, who wound up killing Kate Steinley. So I think this is something that we should look at here, this huge part of the population in our federal prison who are not citizens. And again, I appreciate the work. We've known about prison fellowship for forever and the good work you all do. We appreciate the work you're doing with inmates. But I think this is one area where we could make some change. And again, I think the Trump administration is seeking to do that, and certainly not following, well, we're not having near the migrants come to the border now that were coming in the previous administration, but certainly not releasing people into the country like was done before, which then gave the opportunity for this situation to happen with some of these individuals. Any comments on that? Mr. Potter.
I think they may help situation, but I think restoring collective bargaining unit rights is an important issue. Treating people like professionals is also important. So do I think it'll solve the staffing problem? I don't think it'll solve the staffing problem. I think there's a systematic issue here. Mm-hmm. And I think when it comes to how you value the people that work there and how they feel valued is what's going to keep them there.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts from the rest of the panel? Not, I'll yield back to them. I'll yield my time back. I'll yield my remaining time to the chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for this hearing, and thank all of you for the work you do.